September 2nd, 2020, just before dawn, Washington, D.C.'s Anacostia neighborhood. A gas station clerk opens for business after working the graveyard shift.
We're 24/7, 365. We run 24 hours. My employees work in a enclosed glass bulletproof booth, and the stores are locked overnight. My employee Mustafa was outside the booth. It's the beginning of the day when he has regular customers that come in for coffee. He's checking shelves, checking cleanliness. When he sees the customer come up and he unlocks the door with his remote and the customer comes in.
I opened around 6 o'clock. I was about to open the door anyhow, but I saw that the person outside, and he saw the door is locked. Then he was going back. I thought they are in need, so I just opened the door. He didn't look dangerous, and because of the pandemic, everyone has the mask on. He come inside, he just walk around to the cooler.
As the man slowly walks to get a drink, two of his friends come up to the door. Mustafa buzzes them in too, with no idea of how much danger he's just put himself in.
There was kids. They were about like 20 to 22, I guess. I was not nervous to let them in.
So the other two guys walk in, and what's strange is they don't even look around the store, they just walk to the front.
Mustafa has full control of all the doors.
The door is electronic, automatic lock. I have the remote all the time.
So Mustafa opens the door to go in the back.
But that's when something terrifying happens.
He gets rushed by the three customers, and the original customer pulls a gun out of his hoodie and points it right at Mustafa's face.
He was like, give me the money, show me the money, where's the money? And he said, I will shoot you.
As the store's security cameras record everything, Mustafa desperately tries to fight the robbers off, blocking them with his body.
When they rush Mustafa, they're screaming at him, "Where are the gloves?" Which is the most bizarre statement I've ever heard. They're asking for gloves so that they don't have fingerprints all over the place.
I was trying to do my best, to stop them, because I have two things in my mind, that this gun can be real or can be fake.
He's very tense, he's very nervous, he's very afraid at this point.
I am a good believer on God, so I was like, okay, if something is gonna happen, then I am not the one who can stop this thing, but I will try my best to, whatever I can do.
You can see fear in his eyes as he's backing up with a gun in his face.
But the gunman doesn't fire. Instead, he uses his gun to attack Mustafa.
He hit me on my head, and I was bleeding. I think maybe I'm gonna die.
That's when one of the robbers, who is armed with a crowbar, rushes over to the front door.
He tried to go outside, and he found the door is locked. Then he started shouting, the door is locked.
He actually, when he sees the door locked, he puts the crowbar into the door and tries to jimmy the door.
Then the guy who had a gun with him, he go over there.
So while the two geniuses with the weapons are trying to open the front door, Mustafa is left with the one guy that has no weapon.
So when I thought that, okay, if they don't have any weapons with them, I can fight with them, right? So I was trying to keep him so that I can close the door. I'm trying to fight him so that he can get scared.
To Mustafa's relief, his strategy works.
Then he moved back. Then I locked myself in.
Mustafa gets in the booth and he locks the door, and he's immediately calling 911.
911, what is your emergency?
I just grabbed the phone, and I'm sure that they know that I was trying to call the police.
The three robbers are stuck inside. You can see the panic in their movements. And as they're running back and forth to the door and to the booth, there's no plan. It's a scary thing to watch. You just don't know what's going to happen. Nothing good can come out of this.
Only bulletproof glass stands between Mustafa and his attackers. who are desperately trying to get out.
They was trying to break the door. Then the one who had the rod with him, he put the rod in between the doors, and he was trying to break it.
They've lost all of their power.
They're pulling on the door as hard as they can.
The frustrated robbers try to get back into the booth, where Mustafa has safely locked himself in.
They tried to come inside to get the remote to unlock the door. They was trying to break the door. Then they was kind of scared too. They are just trying to escape the store. They was not confident. Maybe they don't have that kind of experience in this things.
Once Mustafa locks the door, there's nothing left for the robbers to do. They just need to get out and get away. With a gun, this is a serious crime. This is instant jail time. You had to get out. If not, they were going to go to jail.
They're begging and pleading to get out of here. Open this door. If you don't open this door right now. And in their anger, one of them even tries to open the door so hard that he rips the handle off.
They pull so hard that the handle pops off the door. That's a lot of strength to pull on the door and have it pop off a door. I mean, it's a bolt he had to break. The robber then falls backwards. It's kind of humorous looking at it. They're still pulling.
What the robbers fail to realize is that if they would just stop pulling, they might actually have some luck.
This is a push door. A magnet lock is holding the door. And magnet locks are not that strong. You put enough pressure on it, it will just pop open. But they pull the door. They're pulling on the door when it's a push.
With the robbers apparently stuck, their accomplice, who is sitting outside in the getaway car, tries to come to their rescue.
The other guys, he shouted on the other guy who was waiting outside. He said, "Bring the car, bring the car."
So our three robbers are banging, screaming, and pleading on the door to get out. And their partner on the other side in the car now realizes they're trapped and he's got to do something.
What happens next is shocking.
He jumps the curb, and then the door gets pushed open.
As soon as this car plows through, it barely even opens the two doors. The three of them narrowly escape, trying to inch their way in between this little sliver.
Police arrive within 5 minutes. The robbers have already escaped, but don't realize they've left behind a very critical piece of evidence.
That license plate peeked right through the doors.
A few days later, a Prince George's County, Maryland detective called me who had heard about the attempted robbery, and it was very similar to several incidents they had in his jurisdiction. And he asked if he could come see the video. At that point, we saw the license plate, and they had everything they needed.
Police used the license plate to track down and arrest the robbers. At least 2 of them are juveniles. They suspect they're responsible for a string of similar burglaries.
They hit stores and hurt clerks in stores that did not have booths because there was no protection. The only reason I sleep at night is that my night guys are inside of a booth, a bulletproof glass booth.
The video of the robbery gone wrong prompts people to mock them on social media.
This is the instructional video of what not to do if you're trying to rob a place. This is everything you shouldn't do. And probably don't use your getaway car with an exposed license plate as a battering ram.
Mustafa doesn't understand why the robbers would go to so much trouble for so little money.
I had an experience before. If somebody come to rob, they just come inside, they grab candies, they grab sodas, and they just try to run. Never thought about that. They are trying to come inside the booth for cash. It doesn't make sense. For $500-600, you're trying to kill somebody.
To be sure it never happens again, everyone at the gas station now lives by what they call the Mustafa rule.
The Mustafa rule is don't leave the booth when people are in your store at night by yourself. One little mistake, and that little mistake in just a few seconds could have ended very, very badly.
I think I'm never gonna do that again. You never know what's going on someone's mind. So I feel lucky to be alive.
In Massachusetts, another store clerk is also counting his blessings. Thursday, December 3rd, 2019, Newton, Massachusetts. It's the middle of the day and business as usual at this corner mini-mart.
Thank you.
Good day.
Bye-bye.
Only the cashier, Charlie Patel, and one of his regular customers are inside the store when suddenly all hell breaks loose. A masked, armed robber storms into the store.
Hello, this is the 911 operator. What's going on?
What is up? Armed robbery.
Yeah, armed robbery, okay.
This robber decides to rob a convenience store, which is literally a 3-minute walk from a police station.
The robber is wearing a hoodie and wielding a knife, and he charges straight towards Charlie.
You hand the knife, open the register. Open the register. Oh my God.
Terrified, Charlie unlocks the cash drawer.
Charlie does a great job of giving the guy what he wants and then backing away into his safety. If he had yelled or screamed for help, this guy could have freaked out and stabbed him and maybe done something even worse.
But what the thief doesn't realize is that there's also a customer in the store. And this isn't just any customer, it's a police officer who sees everything.
He robbed guy, see police officer car, and he understand is next street is police station.
At first, I thought it might have been someone joking around, and then Charlie was looking at me like, what is this guy doing? And then I saw him, he had a knife in his hand, and he was yelling at Charlie, give me the money. And then I'm like, this is for real.
But the lieutenant quickly sees a window of opportunity because the thief is so fixated on getting his cash.
He take the money, just like, see outside. You only for register, take the money.
He still did not know I was standing there.
This is a bold move. Cops are in and out of this market all day. This guy doesn't check for cameras, doesn't check for other customers, and just beelines it towards the register. This is a textbook disorganized crime.
So that's when Dave gets right in the robber's face.
That's when I drew my firearm, and I had the gun by my side, and he had the knife in his hand.
I saved my life, saved my life.
He was looking at me, and he was like, help me.
You see him draw his weapon and walk right up to the counter and just look at the guy. What are you doing, buddy?
And I was standing right across from the suspect. It happened so fast, I think I just reacted. I just zeroed in on him and told him, drop the knife, drop the knife.
Then, the thief suddenly tries to make a run for it. But Dave manages to grab onto him.
And then we started wrestling around the store. Charlie jumped in, he was trying to help me subdue him. We were knocking over display cases, and I was trying to handcuff him and place him under arrest.
During the altercation, he's unable to holster his gun.
My gun had fallen. I was trying to reholster, and I was trying to hold him back with one hand. I had the gun in the other hand, and when he started fighting, I couldn't get it back in the holster, and at some point, it fell behind the counter.
So the risk of the officer kind of tossing his weapon off to the side as he's struggling with the thief is that if this thief breaks loose, he could get hold of that weapon. And now we're going to have a whole host of other problems happening here.
Now, things are really scary. Dave is unarmed, and he doesn't know what this thief is capable of.
So we know that the thief already has a knife, but we also don't know if he has other weapons on him.
I wasn't able to call on the radio or my phone. I was yelling to Charlie to call 911.
Charlie dials for help, but he's so scared he can't even talk.
I said, you talk to police station. I shaking.
I was struggling with the suspect. He held the phone up to my mouth, and I yelled into the phone who I was, where I was, and that we needed help.
Hello, this is the 911 operator. What's going on?
Police help! Armed robbery!
Robbery, okay. Is there a gun?
Yeah, what is it?
Yeah, we're on the way, sir. Tell me what he looks like.
Go fast!
We're on the way. Tell me what he looks like. Is he still there?
It's Lieutenant Tempesta, Armenia trying to arrest him.
On the way, Temp.
For Dave and Charlie, the next few minutes are absolutely terrifying.
What if backup never arrives and then something bad happens?
For Lieutenant Dave Tempesta, a 37-year veteran of the Newton Police Force, this is personal.
I've known Charlie probably about 15 years, and we've become friends. That day, like every other day on the way to work, I always stop and get a coffee, and then I stop by the store, and I usually bring Charlie the coffee also. Small, extra cream, extra sugar.
When the robbery first unfolds, Dave isn't even paying attention.
I bought a lottery ticket, and then I stepped back to the back of the store.
But the moment he realizes his friend is in trouble, he jumps into action.
I don't know if my guard was down, but it sure went up quick when that guy came in the store to rob it. It was adrenaline.
And now, as he waits for backup to arrive,
We're on the way.
he's in a dangerous struggle. Scared and not sure how to help, Charlie desperately tries to get assistance from outside the store.
I open the door. I told the customer, come here, give me help.
Two customers enter the store and try to barricade the door. It is a full-on fight.
At one point, he had made it to the exit door. Both Charlie and I were yelling to them to help us, and they were helping hold on to him.
Oh my God. We float down 2 times.
In the midst of the frenzy, the thief's hoodie comes off and his face is finally revealed.
It was like a stocking hat, and he had a hood over that, and during the struggle, that had come off.
And finally, after 5 long minutes, Lieutenant Tempesta and the 3 other men are able to subdue him.
They were helping hold on to him, and at the same time, backup units arrived.
Responding officers promptly arrest the thief, who seems confused about who thwarted his plan.
He's asking the cops who arrived whether or not the officer in the store was a real cop or not.
For law enforcement, this was right place, right time. But for this guy, it was the wrong place and the worst time.
The would-be thief is identified as 30-year-old Thomas Zikos.
He was not known to us. He did not live in the area here.
Investigators say Zikos told them he's struggling with addiction.
Zikos pleads not guilty to charges of armed robbery, assault, battery on a police officer, and resisting arrest. He's still awaiting trial. Lieutenant Tempesta is just glad he was in the store when Zikos tried to rob it.
Charlie started hugging me, and he was so appreciative. With the both of us, I don't think we could believe what happened.
He saved my life. Oh, thank you, thank God. My granddaughter and my family is grandpa. Oh, God, you're Rob, you saved your life, grandpa. He every day scared.
I look at it sometimes, and I don't believe that's me there. I'm like, why did this happen?
The video of Lieutenant Tempesta saving the day makes big news, and he is hailed as a hero.
Police officer just looking to play the lottery becomes a hero, turning the tables on an armed robber in Newton. Lieutenant Dave Tempesta saw the holdup happening from the back of the convenience store, and he jumped in to stop it.
I got calls from friends in Florida, and they said they seen me on TV, and I'm like, what are you talking about? I had no idea. The mayor had a ceremony and presented both Charlie and I with a plaque of appreciation. It was really nice. I received a commemorative coin from the chief of police, which they give to officers that do something that stands out. It made me feel good. I mean, nothing like this ever happened before in my career, and felt like they appreciate me.
And now, this officer and store clerk are bonded for life.
My life changer. Dave is good, my friend, good officer. I just come here and save my life. I thank God. I pray Dave is long life. Me too.
This made us even closer. Charlie needed help, and I was right there for him, and everything worked out good. It was just not believable what happened.
And new tonight, caught on camera, a neighborhood nightmare in Huntington Beach where a woman is accused of attacking a man with her car.
The disabled man at the center of that fight says the video doesn't show what really happened, but it certainly is catching everyone's attention.
September 7th, 2014. Huntington Beach, California. It's an area record specialist Sarah Heidecker loves.
Huntington Beach is really nice. It's a nice beach town. It's pretty expensive.
Despite the hefty price tags, Sarah has found a friendly, affordable apartment not too far from the beach.
We all kind of got along together. Everyone would talk to each other when we ran into each other.
It's essential to have a good relationship with your neighbors. You tend to look out for one another.
Still, two of the people in the building have a reputation as being neighbors from hell.
My bedroom overlooked the driveway, and I would just hear screaming. Or something getting thrown, or just insanity. And I could hear it loudly over my TV.
The culprits, Bob Ayers and Laura Cox, seem to be fighting all the time.
They're definitely not a functional couple. I don't even know if they were like a couple anymore, but they were at one time. They just lived together.
Don't let me tell well, hey. I'm sorry if you know what I did.
With that background and that baggage, that probably adds even more intensity to the situations.
Sarah finds the constant screaming so frustrating, she starts recording it.
I started taping these videos so that I could show my friends because they didn't believe me. They were like, no, you don't have crazy neighbors. Like, Huntington Beach is a nice area. What are you talking about? She would be out in her car. She's so frustrated about not being able to find something in her car that she starts kicking her car, leaves giant dents in it.
Essentially, she has no filter. She strikes out, she yells out, uses vulgar language.
It was disrupting for me.
So she is not properly managing her anger. And as a result, it's making living with her unbearable.
And on this Saturday morning, things take a dark turn.
I woke up kind of late, and I just heard the worst screaming I'd heard this entire time. And so I paused the TV, and I went over to my bedroom, and I looked out the window. I was recording it, because that was just kind of what I did at that point.
Calm down and relax.
We see a man on a motorized scooter parked behind some type of vehicle, and it appears to be blocking the vehicle's exit.
Calm down. Shut the motor off for a few. Get the out of my way.
And she was just screaming at him.
You will get scooter.
You could tell he didn't want her to go anywhere. Like, she wasn't in the condition to drive, which was insane because it was like 8 in the morning. It was pretty crazy. I don't know if something had happened before. She was fuming.
This is intense.
Get the out of my way.
But neither Bob or his scooter are budging.
It's clear that he positioned his scooter directly behind her to keep her from leaving. He puts himself at risk so that she doesn't pose a danger to the public.
But she has no interest in calming down.
We see this escalate tremendously. She could do anything at this point.
Get the out of my way.
And then the tension boils over.
She demands that he move the scooter. He refuses.
All of a sudden, she just pushes him over.
Now, clearly, Bob is bigger than her. He's on a scooter that clearly must weigh a couple 100 pounds. And she just shoves that thing over essentially like it's a little tricycle.
She appears to have this rageful, superhuman strength.
She then climbs back in her vehicle and then starts to back up. Now, it's clear that he has some type of physical limitations that require him to use this scooter. She actually strikes the scooter, kind of pushing it to the side. We see pieces fall off of it. We hear the man screaming out.
I didn't think it was gonna get as bad as it did.
Obviously, something serious is about to happen. Is she gonna run him over?
This is out of control. But somehow, Bob manages to get out of the way just in time to avoid catastrophe.
She backs up into the scooter, and it looks as if she's gonna just like run over Bob as well. She brakes the scooter with her car, and you hear him yelling. He's screaming, but she doesn't stop.
I didn't think it was gonna go that far. It was insane to watch.
She is dangerous. She's willing to run over this guy and to break anything and anyone in her path.
He picks up his scooter. He was yelling at her. His scooter still worked. He took off down the street, who knows where.
Laura takes off too, and Sarah and her neighbors race downstairs.
All of us came outside and we all called the cops.
No one is sure where Laura has gone, but when Sarah shows the police her videos, they know they have to find her.
It's clear that she poses a menace, and she needs to be stopped at this point.
I didn't think I was ever gonna have to show them to police. It was like, they need to see that this is happening.
And it doesn't take police long to locate Laura.
They find her down the road, and she's at a liquor store. They determine that she's under the influence, and that kind of pretty much explains her erratic behavior.
She was drunk. So that was what she officially got arrested for.
Laura is charged with driving under the influence. But Bob refuses to press any additional charges.
He was just kind of like, this is just a thing that happened. I don't want to do anything about this. Just let it go.
And that makes Sarah and her neighbors worry that they will never get rid of the neighbors from hell, especially when the building says they won't evict them.
We were all just kind of really worried and then also pretty frustrated that we still had to deal with this.
Sarah is used to seeing fighting, yelling, throwing things. She's not used to seeing near murder. She almost killed him. And for Sarah, that's where the line was crossed.
We didn't want it to keep escalating and something else bad to happen. It was like, I don't want to live like this anymore.
Essentially, at this point, the neighbors have had enough.
Frustrated, Sarah decides to post her videos on social media, and the story goes viral in no time.
Caught on camera and going viral, a violent encounter in Huntington Beach.
It kind of just took off and blew up into this thing.
You can see a woman pushing, then almost running over a man in a motorized scooter.
The violence, which erupted Sunday afternoon in an apartment complex in Huntington Beach,
Just craziness.
was captured on camera from her upstairs window.
For a little while after the story goes public, the neighbors do get some much-needed tranquility.
Laura ended up going to jail for about 2 months. So it was pretty quiet for 2 months, except for Bob blaming everything on me. He said that it was my fault she got arrested.
But then, Sarah and her neighbors manage to convince Bob that all they really want is to help him.
I were kind of like, look, Bob, like, we don't have any issues with you. Like, you went through some hell. You're living alone. So if you need help with anything, just give us a call. We'll come down and help you. So he was really nice after that.
Surprisingly, Sarah and Bob actually become friends. And when Laura is released from prison, they all agree to keep the peace.
Sometimes valuable friendships can develop from these traumatic events.
They had to all get together and work it out to resolve this conflict on their own.
And Sarah has learned an important lesson.
If you see something, if a neighbor that needs help, just try to reach out and get them help as best as you can. especially if it's causing an issue for your sanity. Yeah, happy ending was definitely needed.
In Montana, another violent situation leads to troubling questions about the people involved.
Do you know that they say love is blind? Would you agree with that?
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, well, this couple actually proves it.
April 11th, 2016, Billings, Montana. A frightening armed robbery is underway at a local bar. It's 1:15 in the morning when security cameras at the Tap Inn capture a car pulling up outside. The driver stays in the getaway car while 3 armed robbers march into the bar.
2 males and 1 female. They were covered with bandanas, gloves, long sleeves, and they were armed with semi-automatic weapons. This is a violent crime.
But incredibly, despite the imminent danger, one cozy couple is too busy locking lips to pay any attention.
They were a little tipsy, they were kissing, they were really in the moment with each other.
Even as the thieves unload the cash register, weapons drawn, the kissing couple never even looks up.
Did they not even realize what was going on while they were making out?
This was a very serious situation here. We had an active armed robbery taking place right in front of them.
A whole minute passes by until the oblivious couple finally comes up for air and realizes the place is being robbed. But even then, they don't seem fazed.
Once they realize what's happening around them, you know, these two are just very kind of just laid back, like, wow. Oh, wow, look, there's a robbery.
Whoever this kissing couple is, security cameras show them making out at the bar for a good 45 minutes straight before the robbers march in.
They were totally enamored with one another, and this is like a whole big love fest, and they were just so into each other that they had no idea what was happening.
The thieves get away with about $1,100 cash, some poker machine payout slips, and whatever else they can grab. The shaken bartender calls police.
Billings 911. Yeah, this is the Tap In Bar, 910 Broadwater. I just got robbed. All right, I've got 2 officers already headed your way. And the suspect just left. 3 of them, okay? We got it on video. They had black shirts, beanie caps, and then they had bandanas over their mouths. One of the suspects was a woman? Yeah.
The man behind the kiss turns out to be Chad Barnett, a local resident and regular customer at the Tap Inn. He says the whole scene unfolded in eerie silence.
They didn't even say a word. No one even screamed or, it was just super quiet. Everybody's just like...
And between the silence and the fact that he was very much into his makeout session, Chad admits that initially he was clueless.
We were just kind of into each other. I mean, what's wrong with that? I don't really know what was going on the other side of the bar. Obviously, I was busy and didn't really care.
But when he does look up, one of the robbers is right in front of him, and he's terrified.
He looked right at me, and I looked right at him, and I was like, oh, shoot, we're getting robbed. And the gal I was with, she kind of like buried her face in the side of my neck. She was super scared. She's like, what do I do? I'm like, I don't know, just don't make any sudden moves, don't do anything crazy.
Chad never says a word, but the thieves steal from him too.
He took my phone and the change that I left on the bar.
When the police arrive, Chad is cooperative.
The cops came in and obviously, they just questioned everybody. I was able to identify like 3 suspects. And then I pointed out to the cops, well, there probably had to be a 4th driver. They did actually review the footage and noticed that the driver didn't get out of their vehicle.
Billings has had a series of violent holdups, and police immediately suspect these are the same thieves.
Similarities in the cases started to emerge, such as one suspect hanging out near the doorway.
The lookout gal was the one standing by the door. She was the woman.
The common theme was that you had masked individuals that were fully covered. heavily armed, with bandanas over their faces. So a pattern began to emerge.
But rumors soon spread. Who are these robbers? And is this kissing couple as innocent as they seem? Why does Chad put his hand over his eyes at one point during the holdup?
A lot of people began to believe that because the kissing couple didn't react, that maybe they could be in on it.
These people could have been plants.
Well, new this morning, nothing can stop true love, or at least a good kiss. Not even armed robbers.
It doesn't take long for the video of the oblivious couple making out in the middle of a robbery to become a punchline.
It sounds like a joke. 3 gunmen walk into a bar.
This video went viral quickly, and someone mocking it, saying that love is blind.
Now, police say they are still looking for those suspects, but it's doubtful these eyewitnesses could really help them out.
The man in the video, Chad Barnett, is soon nicknamed the Tap-In Smoocher.
I'm like, well, this is gonna get crazy really quick.
And Chad is right.
The very next morning, my buddy called me and he said, you know, you're on video at the Tap-In. I said, well, how do you know? And he's like, well, dude, you're at the Tap-In every weekend. Dude, it's your gray hat and it's just you.
As the video goes viral, rumors swirl about what Chad was really doing in the bar that night, and he's forced to speak up.
I had to clear my name because some people were saying that I was involved, and being out how calm I was, thought that I had something to do with it.
Some are speculating these two were pretending to be so intimate. These people were there as a distraction, to distract the bartender. Meanwhile, they know exactly what's going on.
But Chad strongly denies that and says it really is as innocent as it looks. It all begins as a low-key Sunday night out with friends at another bar. But then, Chad runs into someone he hasn't seen in years.
The gal there that I knew from way back in the day, we went to the Tap-In, and her and I just kind of hit it off, and obviously you saw the video. You know, I was definitely into her and definitely inebriated.
She shies away from the media and manages to maintain her privacy, but they both strongly insist that the rumors are ridiculous.
People like drama.
Chad says people are making way too much of the whole thing, especially the part where it looks like he is covering his face.
Honestly, I don't remember really doing that. It was just probably a reaction at the time. It's probably like, oh my gosh, we're getting robbed.
And despite the rumors, police say the kissing couple were never suspects, pointing out that the couple did eventually react to the robbery.
It took about 10 seconds once this gentleman saw the guy grab his cell phone. Something was going on here.
And experts say the couple's calm response is actually smart.
Most of the time, it's very wise to not agitate the situation because attention could cause further violence.
If you can remain calm, that does tend to de-escalate that situation. The more you get them upset, especially if they're armed, this could have gone really bad. People could have been injured or even killed.
As for who was really behind the robbery, it turns out that within a 2-week period, there are 4 similar violent holdups in the area.
The Tap-In robbery was number 3 of 4 robberies, the 4th robbery being at a convenience store where the suspect actually discharged a round from a handgun and shot a cell phone right out of the clerk's hand.
And their motive seems to be the same.
Investigators soon believed that drug addiction, specifically methamphetamine addiction, played a role in these robberies. Robberies like this, where cash is what the robbers seek, is very common in cases involving those in addiction because they don't want to take the time to sell stolen merchandise. They need the cash now.
If they wanted to hurt somebody, they probably would have came in screaming. You know, I think they just wanted to come in and get the cash.
Police believe the suspects have fled the Billings area, but they're confident they know who they are.
While investigators had developed a pretty good grasp of who was responsible for these robberies and identified a possible suspect vehicle and cell phone data, they still don't have that final piece of the puzzle enough to get an arrest warrant.
As for Chad, he says it's a night he and his kissing partner will never forget.
We're still good friends. And we laugh about it, our little inside joke. Not thinking of myself as a tap-in smoocher. It's still kind of funny.
But they also realize how lucky they are.
I was obviously a little naive and probably a little more inebriated than I should have been. I look back and I think it could have definitely been worse. It probably scares me more now because I probably should have been paying more attention.